Hey, hello
Hey!
everybody. Welcome to finale day, everybody.
I was like mid pizza bite when it ended.
That's how excited Brian is, you see. He's literally gone without food
That's right.
all day for this. It's going to kick off.
Yep, it's Father's Day, so I am cheating on my diet.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, we're breaking all the rules.
Happy Father's
tonight.
All
Day,
the rules are
everybody.
being broken today. I got like half a large pizza sitting here, and by the end of these 3 episodes, it won't be here no more.
Well, all I will say is if you're eating pizza, Teok would approve. Okay.
It's true.
John, that means I hope you have some Jabba the Hutt gifts ready to drop in during the show as Brian eats more and more pizza.
I'm just getting fatter.
I'm not
and
wearing a gold bikini tonight. I'll tell you that much, Gary. All right.
Oh, come on, John. You promised you'd wear
Thank
the
heavens
gold
for
bikini.
small favors.
Let me do another 8 weeks in the gym and then we'll talk. So tonight, the final 3 episodes of season 1 of Stargate SG-1. I cannot believe we're here. It has flown by this first season of watching these episodes. It's been great. I'm on record already as saying these 3 episodes for me are just absolute bangers. They're just great. I love them. And I'm interested to see what Gary thinks. I'm interested to see what Brian thinks. I'm pretty sure Brian probably thinks along the same lines as me. And I'm interested to see what everyone in the chat has to say and their rankings of each episode at the end of each story, where we would give it a score out of 10.
My ratings will be in direct proportion to how many super attractive guest stars there are in each episode.
Well, you know.
I gotta be honest, I love the way Amanda looks with the long hair.
Yeah. Prepare yourself, Gary.
She looks
Okay, all right.
phenomenal.
We could have another Gary Hathor moment tonight.
Well, you know.
I find it weird that you
Fingers
keep
crossed.
You keep baking yourself marriage cake, bro.
Yeah.
And I'll keep doing it until somebody accepts it.
He's just sat on the corner in the corner of his room, just slovered in cake, just
That's right.
everywhere.
Clearly, you have a drone spying on me.
Yeah. And so everybody, the link for Discord is at the top of the live chat. I've pinned it there, so that should take you into Discord, where you can watch the episodes live of us in real time, and then for anyone new here, you can comment along in the YouTube chat as well. But
That's right.
What we'll do is I've just quickly add the timer, and then we are good to go. Look at that timer. So are you guys ready?
We're ready.
Yep.
We're ready to rock. Okay, so if you want to do the countdown, Brian, and we'll get into the first episode.
All right, here we go, everyone. In 3, 2, 1.
Nice job.
And we're off. Yeah, good to see you, Love Buff. Good to see you, Christy.
Ooh,
Hi,
it's
Juliet.
dark.
It's very dark. Hi, Christopher Mays. Good to see you.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Stace Ace. Good to see you, mate.
I always wonder, like, how much time takes place between episodes for them to recover for all the stuff that happened in the previous one.
Yeah.
This planet they go to is sick.
Yeah.
I'm actually angry that I'm thinking right now, damn it, they never go back to this planet. We never see this planet again.
Exactly. And you think, I'd love a story where you've got an SG tech team there,
Right. You'd think they'd be like going there every week.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd have like a permanent station there.
Yeah. And you notice the little.
And they have an active Stargate like in the middle of nowhere. Like it's not even like a. That means the Goa'uld haven't touched it.
And do you notice the miniature camcorders they're using to record everything?
Right.
Yeah, now it'd be iPhone, wouldn't it? That's not a good sign, is it?
Look. Nah, they're lying.
Yeah.
Nah. Remember what pirate? You know the Jolly Roger. You know the skull and crossbones.
Yeah.
Bro, that used to mean when ships flew that flag, it's because they said the plague was on board. Well, pirates would fly it so that they weren't bothered by the East Indian Trading Company.
Yeah.
That's how it turned into a pirate flag.
But you notice they're not out of here because Daniel's just found some antiquities. So
He's
the
gonna stick
chances
around
of
for a
him
while.
leaving, no way.
Oh, Daniel, just shut up and go.
Look at that mini camlet. Half of its battery.
Look at all the circuit boards in the background.
Daniel, go. Yeah. Oh,
What
I don't
was
even
that
want to
he
know
just
what he's going to
picked
use that for.
It's a gift for Sharae.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to make him look too good if she has that.
The fact that they have this just like hanging out is so insane to me.
Daniel has the highest percentage of doing just abjectly stupid things of anybody on this team.
But we need Daniel to do it or nothing would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel.
Christopher Mays. I don't know, Brian, is it an HD on Amazon?
I mean, it's close to.
Yeah. It's upscale.
Yeah, it's 720p. 16. Cool. Yeah, you're probably watching like the 4:3 aspect ratio garbage version. This is the 16:9 720p version. I mean, it's not full HD, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
It looks fine. And you know me, I'm like weird about quality, so.
It's not vertical like you were talking about yesterday, mate.
You're not in Kansas anymore, Dave.
I found out last week that the vertical video upsets me so much.
Yeah. Dude,
last week I found out that Tubi has all the Buffy the Vampire Slayers in 720p.
Really?
Like 16:9 ratio. They look great, and they look great.
Not the bastardized versions where they had the like booms.
No, not the crappy versions where it's like random aspect ratios. Like the
quality.
Like someone went and restored the correct version.
I'm gonna have to check that out actually.
Well, I figured.
Look at that stud.
Yeah. But Brian's right about this. They've always talked about you've got to bring tech back to Earth to fight against the Goa'uld, and yet you never hear anything again about this planet.
Please tell me that this is the episode where Daniel finally learns to stop doing stupid stuff.
No, he doubles down. To be fair, the only reason we know about the Goa'uld and the threat and we haven't gotten taken over is because he does stupid stuff. He's our explorer, bro. He's Indiana Jones, but with glasses.
Yeah. You've prepared yourself now. You've been bedded in for an entire season, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
I think instead of saying the words Michael Shanks, they should just say guy that does stupid stuff.
Laura Toth. They're not upconverted.
Okay.
I think this is the This is like the foreign DVDs where it was all on 16:9 PAL.
Well, they
because
the German
frame rate
ones.
seems like it's lower than usual.
Oh. I generally consider these three a trilogy for the finale, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I'm glad we picked this 3. It was sort of perfect.
It's when Janet Fraser comes in any second as a vampire, Gary.
Fine with me.
It's a sexy vampire.
I'll jump in front of Daniel then and take the first bite.
Yes.
No, Daniel,
Marks
look
all
out.
over. Gary's like a meringue.
He's like, watch out, blood. Daniel. Don't let her get your neck.
How did you get teeth marks there, Gary?
You'll die wondering. That's what I'll say. Oh, great.
We're friends.
Daniel. I'm frustrated with the fact that Daniel doesn't make logical extrapolations based on what happened to him, like touching the mirror, and he's not trying to figure out already what is going on. That's frustrating.
You gotta be fair, bro. He doesn't know he's living in a science fiction show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's just going to different planets.
The idea of alternate dimensions that's a pretty far.
He's just going to different planets every week. So yeah, why would he?
But that's a device that transports you within your own universe. That's easier to understand than alternate dimensions, right?
yeah.
I like how she's basically admitting that she stole from him and then didn't invite him to the team.
Yeah.
Let him live out on even an alternate version. I'm glad to see this character back.
And again, this shows how good the casting was for especially season 1 of SG-1, because Catherine here is a different actress to the actress in the movie.
Yeah,
but convinces you 100%. I do get Daniel's frustrations though. You were like, what the hell's going on here? Okay, it's parallel, is it?
See, that's how you convinced her.
Yeah.
No one will know about that but her.
So paying off from a former episode as well. Nicely done. Magical things. Now, an interesting piece in this alternate universe, right? Jack didn't go through to Abydos from my history, from what I remember.
Right.
So it's interesting. This Jack is a darker Jack O'Neill than in our universe. because he hasn't experienced what happened in the movie.
Well, I don't think his kid died either. I think he stayed in the military.
Yeah. So this guy's got no worries about sending nukes to planets and stuff like that.
Nope.
He will just do it.
Okay, by now, I'm like, Daniel, you should know that.
Yeah.
Come on, bud. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's Stargate Alliance, I think, Christopher Mays, I think, from memory. I think. Stace Ace, might be.
By now, you should know something's up.
Oh,
Yeah.
she looks great.
Yeah, she looks wonderful. I've had a crush on this woman since I was like.
I first saw her in the X-Files when she had her neck twisted.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm not into people having their necks twisted. I liked her before she had her neck twisted.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't specifically because of the neck twisting.
It's not some weird kink I've got.
Yeah, Gary's like, but that helped. No, but she is just she's a good actress. She's beautiful.
Yeah,
she checks all the boxes, you know.
She does. And again, we've had this argument before with the current era talking about there's no diversity. You had a strong, talented actress.
Somebody spilled
in
ketchup
this
on the map.
series. You had several, in fact. Yeah.
Yeah, several.
Yeah. So pretty much wiped out the UK.
Yeah, but Doctor Who beat him.
Well, just call
that guy comes back again, I think, on the screen.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, I've seen him in a million different things. I just can't.
Yeah.
He's always that like
Devious.
greasy,
he's always a
greasy
jerk.
news anchor.
Yeah.
Poor bastard just has like that. He's probably like a really nice guy, but he has the face.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like Todd Stashwick. I hung out with him. Great dude.
Top guy, yeah.
Yeah, top guy. But he just has
always
that
plays
face.
an asshole. Yeah.
He has the asshole face. Yeah.
He's in the new Vision series, isn't he? That was
He is, Vision
saying
Quest.
yesterday.
Vision Quest. Yeah. I'm super stoked to see that.
Yeah, that should be good.
That's one of those little games you touch and you guess the sequence of colors. I've played that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Simon says. Good old Walter's still there.
Yeah. With his tank top. Alpha site, eh?
You
I wonder
can
if
leave
that's
a lot of
where the
you can
idea
leave a
comes
lot of
from.
you can leave a lot of the world leaders behind. We'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah. Now I'd be stopping Starmer getting over there.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I agree with Jack here, bro. From
Yeah.
his perspective, like
They're wiping out the planet.
Oh, there's some innocents over there. Oh no, we're gonna lose a billion people, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just glad Daniel didn't go Shari.
Yeah. I mean, let's not forget that in this reality, the Goa'uld are coming after them.
Right.
They've been caught on the hop. So yeah,
So they're sending the warhead to the home planet of who they think are the invaders.
Chulak, yeah.
That's all right. Just give the information to Catherine and have her
go get the mirror.
Yeah. I'm amazed the Goa'uld didn't take anything with them. Christopher Mays, I think they did it as a last-ditch hope that they thought that might stop things. But you're right. I mean, there's
the ships are
other
already coming.
planets. Yeah.
But maybe that would slow them down from finding the Alpha site.
Yeah.
Maybe it's retaliatory, you know?
Yeah. If we're going down, we're going out in a blaze of
I
glory.
tell you, as a father, if someone hurt my kids, even if it wouldn't help, I'd kill that entire family.
Yeah.
I have to throw a red flag here. You telling me that Daniel? You telling me that Daniel's not familiar with the concept of alternate dimensions?
I mean, he's an Egyptologist. He's not a science fiction fan like us.
Now Carter.
Listen, if I woke up one day and Carter was in my bed instead of my wife, I would immediately know I was in an alternate dimension.
I'm throwing a red flag. Yeah, but you wouldn't care.
Yeah, I'd be like, you know what? I don't know how to get back.
Can I just add, with her neck twisted the right way?
The right way, not the wrong way.
Yeah.
John.
Give me Genesis.
See, there's a good already in season 1. They're building up so much stuff that happens so far ahead. Gary, you know, when we get there.
They just left him in the command center.
He's playing Chucky Egg on the PC now because he can't do anything else.
Galaga.
But would he be able to get access in there though?
Egypt. So it's interesting. The version of SG-1 that we're watching is the version where everything's sort of worked out for the best.
Yeah.
Jackson joined the team to Abydos. They convinced Jack to come back. They met Sam Carter. They met Tilk. Yeah, other Daniel's dead as hell.
Yeah.
Every version that version we watch is the best case version.
Yeah.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Mm.
I'm breaking up. I'm breaking up.
Yeah. See, again, I love how they're talking about now. Look, you know, they built this up in this series so well. Their tech is far more advanced.
Right.
Nothing you can do in the air against that.
That old establishing shot and the added shadow.
Game
That's pretty
over,
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
Game over.
It's great. I love the gliders coming past as well.
Jeez.
Yeah. So they don't use the ring system at all on this one, do they? Because they have to literally battle floor by floor, I think, to get
Right.
to gate level.
The point is,
Yeah.
27 minutes.
Yeah. Dialing computer.
Yeah, that's where they have the advantage, right?
Yeah. They can literally just dial the chevrons and then it just pops in, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah, the DHD has all these safeguards that make it take longer.
Yeah.
And this is why when someone asked like a couple weeks ago, why don't we use that DHD? This is why they choose not to. Even though it's not as safe, they have more control.
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting. Yeah, he's a little bit cranky in this one, isn't he, Christopher Mace? Hi, Colin. Good to see you. Hopefully you've got, if you go to the top of the chat, there's a pinned link to get into Discord, which should hopefully take you into it. Let me know if you're still having problems. But
yeah, if you
hopefully
can't
that
use the
gets you
pin
in.
link for Discord, if you don't want to use Discord or whatever, you can just turn on your whatever version you're watching with, Prime or MGM, and sync it up to the clock that is on the screen right now. That's our clock for the episode.
Yeah.
But it's much easier just to click on the Discord link if you have Discord, because we're streaming exactly what we're watching in Discord.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a guess as to which planet those numbers.
Mm.
I love Walter.
Yeah. He goes Rambo in this one, doesn't he? I think.
He does.
Very Star Wars there.
What if that was the pizza delivery guy?
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah. Got Teox Domino's pizza
Yeah.
delivery.
Yeah, Domino's yeah.
Sorry, I was late.
30
Yeah.
minutes or it's free.
Yeah. 14 minutes.
I cycled past 4 Jafar squadrons before I got here.
Where's my tip? You owe me $2.
That's the rule. They've set the rule.
I'm gonna guess who that is. Yep.
I was really hoping that it was like Michael Jackson or something just to throw you off.
Doing a bit of Smooth Criminal down the aisle.
Ain't gonna be
Let's
no
get to the
rematch.
Stargate.
And I will say that there's one character who has probably the best mullet on a Stargate episode ever in this one.
Yeah.
Beautiful mullet.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher asked if you think Christopher Judge had to force himself to frown all the time. Whenever I've seen him outside the show, he's like smiling nonstop. So he probably had to like remind himself not to smile.
I
think he's genuinely a pretty happy guy.
I had him cracking up at Bournemouth Comic Con.
Awesome.
He was good fun.
It's you.
Pretty cool, huh?
Hey, John, Inferno.
Yes, it is Doctor Who Inferno, without a doubt.
Yep.
Now, that's a great discussion to be had, because if your world is about to be wiped out, would you care about helping out another reality of Earth?
I mean, if it's the reality where all my friends and family are alive, then that's
Yeah.
my only real shot. Then why not? One. If I'm going out, then I'm going out fighting.
Yeah. It's like the Hot Shots Part 2 there. That's a hell of a gun. Look at that. What a haircut. it's the finest mullet I've ever seen. In fact, I might try and grow one with my
Yeah.
hairline. It would work
Yeah,
perfectly.
me too. We should both grow those mullets.
Yeah. Be ready for season 4. Heck of a risk. So with the president established as gone, is Jack in charge of effectively all Earth forces at this
I
point?
mean, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so did this O'Neill lose his son?
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
wonder why he stayed in the military.
Yeah.
And I think this is as I was saying, this is an O'Neill that didn't go to Abydos. So
Yeah.
he's not come to terms with that as much as our reality
Yeah,
O'Neill
he's
has.
probably called back to lead the mission, but not to go on the mission.
Yeah.
That would make the most sense.
Yeah.
And he's just stayed as commander of the base this time.
Yeah. And also, if you notice in this,
wait,
oh,
are they married?
Look at that! They're married. It looks like.
Are they married? Oh.
Yeah, they didn't get engaged in your reality.
Wow. Good going, Jack.
all those sneaking around the showers paid off for Jack then.
How dare you?
Spoiler alert.
Legend.
I want to see Daniel's like after action meeting where he lets them know, hey, you guys were engaged.
Yeah. Look at that beauty. See, this is how nuts it is. All those Jafar keep coming through that gate. All those bodies.
Right. They're just sending
wave after wave. Yeah.
Code 000 destruct 0.
Yeah.
Up, down, right, left, right, select start.
Just do the Bender future armor version.
Good. I was going to say, throw out the names of his wife and son. Good idea. Uh-oh.
Consequences.
Well, then who sent the word?
Yeah. By ship. Orbiting.
Oh, that camera effect, that parallax.
Yeah.
Where they zoom in and pull back at the same time.
Yeah, just like in Jaws.
There's literally nothing left there but teeth after that. Is there really, with that hitting you?
Ernest is a very good lover.
Yeah. Great kisser. Yeah, Catherine was awesome. Gary, you said earlier you like Catherine in it.
Yeah.
I like Catherine, yeah.
There's Walter.
Yeah, Walter,
Rambo.
get it, bro, get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I regret nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish they would have had him throw his gun.
Yeah. just let out a grenade at the last minute. Yeah, Christopher Mays, likewise.
She just drop a grenade?
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Just see a blonde hair just fly down the stairs, you know. Fly me.
Daniel, how about you be ready at the top of the ramp instead of the bottom? That might be a good idea.
No, because the whoosh will kill him.
Yeah.
She closed the blast gates. What a gangster Catherine is.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he gets too close to the front, that event horizon forming will just disintegrate him.
Okay.
Well, you got left
all
his
right.
boots.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's got a smart.
So cool, man. So cool. Boom.
Yeah, yeah. My God, Bones, what have I done? Now, an interesting question for you, okay, that they hadn't really discussed. wouldn't there be a blast wave that would be following him through the gate before it shut down?
I think it was already closed by the time it got there. Bring the mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Dayton needs to do his hair. Wow.
Great episode, bro.
Yeah,
great setup
episode.
for the finale. You
Very
understand,
good.
like I love that there are three. This is basically a 3-episode finale.
Yes,
because
without a doubt.
Like we're still 2 episodes away from the actual conclusion of what they just set up. Super rad.
So good, and the characterization. What I love about this episode as well, guys, is the fact that you see the characters and how they sacrifice themselves in this story. So it shows, even in a parallel universe, it's not the military training, it's the characters themselves. It's in them that they're willing to do what they need to do. You know, it's so cool. But I mean, Gary, what would you give this one out of 10? And what would everyone in the chat give this out of 10?
Well, I'd have to. I'm ranking it in isolation, obviously, not knowing what's going to happen in the next 2, other than that this is the first part of a 3-parter.
We can revise after that as well.
I thought it was really great. I'd give this a very strong 8. I thought it was, which is in my top tier. 8 to 10 is my top tier. So yeah, I'll give it a strong 8.
Yeah.
Brian?
8 with no context, knowing what this sets up, a good 9.
Yeah. And we're all in agreement then, because I give this an 8. I just think it's just a solid science fiction and a Stargate SG-1 episode for me. It's a banger. So, I mean, in the chat, we got Christy's Corner, gives it a 10. That's high praise from Christy. Well, that's great. And then we've got Christopher Mays gives it an 8 out of 10. Brilliant. Julie gives it an 8, which is great. We've got Lord Foff giving it an 8. And then we've got, almost said 8.5, but he just held it off a little bit there. So, you know, they're great scores for that episode so far, you know, and we've got the second one to come. And, you know, yet another episode I enjoy, which is a different style. So what I'll do is I will reset the clock, and then when Brian is ready, let me know, mate, and I will do the countdown, and we'll go into the next one.
And they need to have Sam wear her hair like that all the time.
There's plenty of upcoming episodes for her.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Like you said, we're starting the second episode. This is season 1, episode 20. It's titled Politics.
I hate politics.
In case you're watching on DVD, it could be episode 21. Look for Politics. Either episode 20 or 21 on Amazon Prime, on MGM, and on Tubi. It would be episode 20, titled Politics. You can either hook up with us in Discord by clicking on the pinned link in the chat. Jump right into our Discord. If you don't like Discord, don't want to deal with Discord, whatever, that's cool. We are streaming it there. Just sync up with the timer that's on screen right now, and let's watch season 1, episode 20, titled Politics. This is the second to last episode, so we are in the final 3 of the finale of SG-1 season 1. Let's go.
So
3.
I'm confused now.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
You ready, John?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
And we're off.
They should have had an alternate version of the lion.
That would have been interesting, actually.
Yeah. Again, unlike other stories, straight into it.
Yep. They wasted no time.
Yeah.
They're literally like, this is not a board meeting. Oh, it's a meeting or whatever in that room. This is him in the hospital right when they got back to the gate.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a load of deleted scenes out there somewhere from this three-parter.
Can we stick to the main thing?
Look who it is.
This douchebag.
With his greasy hair.
Yeah, his greasy car salesman hair.
Yeah. He's such a cocky so-and-so, isn't he?
Senator McKinsey, this guy. This guy is gonna be something we see a lot of for like 5-6 seasons straight.
Yep.
Cool. There's an invasion happening right now, but let's all stop to have hearings.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
this is like American. This is exactly how American politics work, bro. Hey, there's an invasion happening right now. We have all these issues. People are dying, but you know what? Let's all stop and talk about our feelings.
We can't fight them until we've got through this filibuster.
So stupid.
And the fact that after all they've experienced, that they can't allow for Daniel having gone to an alternate reality. I know there's differences between going to other planets and just in this universe versus other realities, but I mean, come on.
I mean, he has physical proof, though. He was hit by a staff weapon, right?
Yeah.
You got to believe a little bit of what he says. He was hit by a staff weapon, and he has the coordinates written down on a piece of paper.
Exactly that. And you would have thought that he's built up an element of trust.
Right.
Over all of the adventures.
I mean, I know that they had to use that scene as a way to bring people up to speed on what's happened so far in the story, but still, that doesn't reflect well on these characters.
Yeah. Area 52.
That's chump change nowadays, dude. 7.4 billion. Coincidentally, that's what they sold MGM to Amazon for.
Yeah.
Got him. No, not really. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you how he gets that much power. No effing term limits. That's how.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guarantee you, if there was term limits, he wouldn't have that power.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if you guys are going to address that over there.
Oh, I plan to.
I hope so.
Yeah. What I hate about
If
Samuels
only so
is
that Congress stops being a senior citizen center.
yeah, exactly.
Term limits. We need term limits.
Oh, Daniel. God. Oh, it's Captain Jellicoe.
Ronnie Cox.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a legend, Ronnie Cox.
They should take him off world and introduce him to the Jaffa.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Look at him smiling.
Yeah. Such an ass.
The guy's like a slimy version of Ron Paul.
Yeah.
This is a bottle episode. You guys know that, right?
Mm. Yeah.
This is the first bottle episode of the series.
Yeah.
Notice the set is essentially the SGC meeting room.
Yeah.
With like 8 people, and then every other scene is a flashback, something they've already filmed.
Yeah.
This is how they save money.
It's well done.
Let me explain why. Because the finale is so expensive, they have to have an episode where they save money, so they can put that money toward the finale.
And to be honest, I don't
care.
The
art of the bottle episode.
And I don't care about it being a bottle because you've got so many good actors all round a table. It's just so engaging.
Right. No, I think bottle episodes are required. I love the art of the bottle episode.
Good for you, Jack.
Yeah. I think also with Samuels, what I can't stand about Samuels, he's so slimy. He knows the Goa'uld are on the way, but he's just trying to get one back against Hammond and the SGC.
Well, the 2020 election did that too.
Yeah.
It's too late once you want to open the box. It's already too late.
You can't put it back in. Yeah, it's done.
All right, calm down, Ron.
Yeah.
God, he sounds like a shitty version of Ron Paul.
Yeah.
But of which I agree with like 80% of what he says, but what does this have to do with the Cold War?
Yeah, exactly. God,
What a fucking retard.
Yeah, they've got ships.
Oh, that's Independence Day.
Yeah.
You like that? That was a cool
Very good.
Independence Day reference.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
This is how he justifies his job.
Yeah,
For like probably 40 plus years of service, quote unquote.
OCP owned SG-1 too. It's all personal power with Kinsey, isn't it? You know, that's all it is.
Yeah. Most politicians are that way. Guy plays the role. He's a great actor because I hate him right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's really annoying the shit out of me right now.
He is. And there's more.
He's
to
doing
come
his
on
job.
that. Yeah. Does. He has, Christy. Great actor.
Clip show time.
Yeah. But again, why Why would you shut down the Stargate program if you want tech? Even the gate alone completely revolutionizes travel on
Right.
Earth or to other planets or to the moon if you wanted to do it. It's stupidity.
Well, this is at least better than Riker lying on a table dreaming. So
After a bite. Good to see you, PD Rich.
Many have tried.
Yeah. The T-out line where he says, "I've got nowhere else to go," always reminds me of Chris Farley in Wayne's World 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Guaranteed. Yeah. He represents. Yeah. Yeah. Like Delaware or something, like Connecticut. We don't see a lot of these gliders again, do we?
No, not for a while. They
Yeah.
pop up in a few episodes, don't they? But it's a while before you start seeing them for quite some time. I love the gliders. I think they're so cool.
I know. Don't we like? That's a spoiler. I don't want to say it.
F302s. I'm giddy like a kid as soon as I see
Yeah,
an F302.
F302s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine has a model of an F302.
Oh, they used to do them years ago, didn't they? They were really good.
Yeah.
And I was always gutted I didn't get the Daedalus. And they did those ones as well as the 302s.
What?
Yeah. He's just not reading the report, is he? He's starting to panic there straight away. Look.
Unscheduled off-board activation.
Yeah. You know, this weasel, with the second anything kicks off, he's trying to get to the front of the queue for the alpha site.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no Braytac in this one.
Colonel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, you're letting the enemy know exactly where you're at. Colonel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hide everybody.
Right.
don't give him a target. Yeah.
Oh, this is from the
Flashback to the
movie.
movie. Yeah. I think this is the last time they reference the movie.
Yeah.
Was this actually in the movie, or was this in the director's
Yeah,
cut of the movie?
This is in the movie.
Yeah, it's at the
Okay.
end when he's
Look,
come
look
back.
all the lights turn on. Those are huge ships.
Yeah. Nearty. He. Great shot. I love that shot. Christopher Mace. Yeah, I said that as well. Interesting, isn't it?
Maybe it's one of those he she's.
Exactly. It works now.
It's ma'am.
It's going to be your Amazon Echo in a few years, Gary.
Hello? Hello.
Be the face of Dr. Frasier for me. I can do that for you.
I better get the prototype of that one, John.
It's like, no, pervert.
How dare you?
I've just watched the South Park episode where it's in the future and the Amazon Echo is a woman and he has to keep ordering or she has a major wobbly.
Yeah, I remember that.
Teal'c's about to get up and snap his neck. Such an idiot. I will agree there are some security kinks that need to be worked out.
Yeah. No, this episode is a little boring now. Now that I'm halfway through, I'm like, oh, come on, bro, speed up a little bit.
Yeah. I was kicking off. Look at the strength to pull someone back out of the event horizon of a gate. He's got a point on that one.
Too late though.
Hmm.
And a dozen pieces.
Yeah. Domino's get security clearance. Off world. I would have argued that, yeah, you can bring a lot of diseases back, but you can also bring back a lot of scientific knowledge to cure a lot of diseases on the planet as it
Exactly.
is. You literally have a sarcophagus which could effectively cure cancer, you know.
Yeah, they need another one of those.
Yeah. No, Kinsey would just take it home for himself, though, wouldn't he? Just live forever as a senator.
Senator Kinsey going on his 300th year
Yeah.
as senator.
Yeah. And he's still not president. I'm currently doing Stargate Atlantis at the moment as well, and I've just got to the siege in season 1.
Great episode.
Phenomenal.
How do you feel about having to watch that again in like a year and a half?
Yeah, I know. I'm fine with it, mate. By then, we'll have Richard Dean Anderson on with us, you know.
Next week, everybody, John's going to be putting together a clip show of our streams, the best moments.
Oh, there's a lot, mate.
That's right.
That's just a whole weekend's work, that is. You with Hathor patches all over your body, that's going to be a highlight, mate.
Okay, now these clips are getting a little bit too much.
Yeah, wedding cake.
Now, after his next line to the senator better be, yeah, but I got a
My wife
chance
is
to
hot.
marry a super hot woman.
Yeah.
Which I think justifies $7 billion if anything does.
Kinsey's like, what's the address for that
That's right.
location? And we got a banger next, Victor. An absolute
But
cracker.
I'll still be married to a hot woman, so it's fine.
Yeah. To be fair, Gary, at least you get to see Janet again in this package.
I guess the senator's not interested in Hathor, unfortunately.
He takes his shirt off in this episode, mate. He's got like 14 pouches on his back.
I mean, when Ronnie Cox showed up, one of them should have said, I know you. You were involved with that RoboCop project, weren't you?
Yeah. That's how you got your funds.
Yeah, Christopher Mays. Yeah. Is that a metaphor for something?
You've called it, Gary.
Yeah, you will, you dirty old bastard. You still have that marriage cake ready to go.
He needs to drop the Kirk line. I take the situation very seriously. It is you that I don't take seriously.
Yeah. It's such an ass.
Here's an option. Ready? Kill him and Samuels. Make it look like an accident. Problem solved.
Well,
the Goa'uld got him.
Jack's special forces just leave like a husk of a symbiote next to his body.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up, Samuels.
Yeah. I do like Daniel here, though. He does tell him straight what he thinks of him.
I would say, nor do I, Senator, which makes talking to you awful hard.
Yeah.
Why do you think he wants to go there, you idiot?
Yeah.
Yeah, shut up.
Mad, isn't it?
Maybe that's why they're there, you idiot.
He is a fool. Massive fool. Hate this guy.
Shut up, Samuels.
Yeah, come on. Love you, Hammond.
Don't let him get to the door. Shoot him in the face.
Yeah. With a staff weapon.
Yeah, everyone hates this guy.
Yeah.
Samuel sucks, dude.
Do you remember him when he was in X-Files and he used to be able to convince people to do things for him? Samuels, the guy who played Samuels.
Yep. Lord Todd's right. Great actor to make us all hate him.
Yeah.
You know what I love about this episode? This is where they adopt the black hats.
Yeah. Stealth. Goes back to Jack's special forces training and missions.
Right.
So what would have Jack been at that
you know
point?
What? Honestly, I mean, I don't. You guys will probably disagree. I find it absurd that if you have an instrument like this and it's brought back everything that it already has, to invest with just one person who's not the president the power to bureaucratically shut it down seems just absurd to me.
I mean, that's how it is right now, though, man.
Like that wouldn't happen.
There's unelected judges. I'm sorry, I'm putting my camera.
Well, no, I mean, if we talk about unelected, talk about like who ran things for 4 years. No, I mean, I get it, but
no, but there are unelected judges, like just 9 circuit judges that should have no power over what the president is able to do, but because the Constitution is interpreted that way, they're able to hold things up for months, if not years, and stop things.
Well, when the Goa'uld show up, then I hope that they grab the senator and Samuels, slap some camo on him, and say, "Okay, what do we do now?"
Yeah, I always, every time I watch this episode, I always remember, I enjoy it. Remember the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Time Cop? And they go to that committee at the beginning and they basically are telling them they're going to give them billions of dollars a year because of time travel. I always imagine that Kinsey is on a committee like that and he's literally just a complete ass and he just loves being king of his own little world. That's what he wants to be,
Yeah, they're elected officials, but like the problem with elected officials now with no term limits is they just stay elected forever. It's like and they're never
they can bureaucratically grab the power because that's the way the system is, not because they're actually qualified to wield it.
It's the same.
And I know it's constitutional, but then you go, okay, but did the Constitution ever plan on some dude like Bernie Sanders being in power for 47 years?
No, I mean, the founding, I mean, I'm sure there were probably a couple of a-holes, amongst the people that, created the Declaration and the, in the Constitution, but they probably didn't foresee a time where the idiocy would be so embedded, and the self-serving would be so embedded.
Yeah, in a time where people
they couldn't have visualized that because of who they were.
Right, because they didn't expect that anyone would be so selfish after starting this great nation.
I mean,
utilize that power for
exactly.
What's longer than the average lifespan? Like those people lived like what 50, 60 years tops. They didn't expect some dude in his 90s to be a senator still.
Well, and plus, I mean, back then, unfortunately, only then, not now. We have people like, Washington. When it came time to go, he walked off and lived the rest of his life and handed off the service to others. That's the kind of people back then who would be fundamentally unable to visualize the kind of crap show that we have now.
100%.
But from an outsider looking in, being a Brit, I mean, I've seen it with your politicians over there. I mean, you've literally got McConnell who, was on camera effectively having mini strokes,
Right,
and yet
dude.
he's still voting.
Yeah.
But again, he's not really voting. He's
You're right.
voting someone else's decision, and it's
Yeah.
like,
And that's the problem.
If we're
she
gonna
passed
list
away, but Feinstein was another example where
look, if we're going to list all the people in the last 5 years who've been monumentally unqualified to, hold the offices they do, this is going to be a 7-hour stream.
yeah. I mean, I swear.
I think about Pelosi being queen of California for like 45 years. Like,
well, California. I mean, and I live here. I mean, you know what? Give me time to get out. But then you can wall off this state just like Escape from New York, and that'd be fine.
I swear,
Escape from LA, bro.
I swear these politicians are trying to develop their own Lazarus pit right now. That's what's happening.
Right, yeah. The funniest thing I ever heard out of a comedian's mouth when it comes to politics was Joe Rogan. And he was like, yeah, the Constitution's great. But then you go, but then I think it's a document written with a feather, and I'm not sure if they knew of everything we were going to have to deal with 150 years later. It's okay to make some changes. He goes, if you had to wear a wig because you had such bad lice that your hair, you're missing hair, then I think maybe we can make some changes. And while I'm a big Constitution guy, and it's the greatest living document of all time, there are clearly things that were written in there that weren't meant for 2025.
Yes.
And term limits is one of them. And no one thought that people would be so selfish to just never have term limits.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too bad the founding fathers couldn't have been, as cynical about the degeneration of human nature over the course of a couple of centuries.
Right.
And Kinsey.
Kinsey
is the classic example of that. They've literally, what was it? We're talking 25 years since this aired, at least. And he is the embodiment of our country's
and we
politicians
see more of
as well as yours. Yeah,
right.
We do.
We see more of Kinsey. Like, there's a lot more than meets the eye. Someone said in the chat, there's more of the Kinsey one what you see.
Yeah.
Samuels, though, that guy's just a slimy dick.
I actually, I think instead of watching the finale, we should just spend the next 45 minutes slamming by name all the idiots in our government.
It'll take hours.
Can I just say as well that coming up for the next episode before we do our score out of 10 for this one, there's a quote from General Hammond to Samuels in it. And he goes, from your lips to God's ears to Samuels, because he's basically telling him, shut up. No one wants to listen to your BS anymore. Just shut up. And it's great. I love Hammond when he does that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Gary, what would you give this out of 10?
Well, I'm trying to figure, I was thinking during the episode, maybe one way I should rate this is if I remembered my scores for all the episodes they're using clips of and then just average it. But then I thought, well, that would take way too long. So I'm going to give this boy, clip shows. I'll give it a 5.
Yeah, I'm pretty much solid in the 5 camp.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you guys on that one either.
It's not the Mongolian episode, that's for sure, but it's nothing special.
Yeah. Thankfully, we didn't get a clip of that.
If they would have given clips of that, I would have rated it higher.
I mean, Juliet gives this a 5. Christopher Mace gives it a 6. And then we've got Victor Fontaine gives it a 5 out of 10. We've got Christy giving it a 7. And then we've got just check anymore. Yeah, we got Lord
Christy has a good point. Without I am actually going to add a point and say a 6 because without this episode, they don't save the money necessary to get to the next episode.
Yeah.
Well, but then, and I get that. But, we have to rate the content, not the meta behind the scenes.
Yeah. So one thing Stargate did well is that they got better at bottle episodes.
Yeah,
Because
they did.
between this, there was an episode of Battlestar Galactica, an episode of X-Files, and an episode of Breaking Bad. And those were the only 4 episodes of TV, right, that were considered bottle episodes to ever get nominated for Emmys. And Stargate is among that list of 4 episodes that were considered bottle episodes to ever get nominated for Emmys. They were so good, even though they saved a ton of money. So they get better at it. This is not one of those episodes. Not this one, no.
There's never been a bottle episode in the Stargate franchise that has made me just fed up with it. Because they always put some decent acting in it or a decent scene in it like that. You know, you've got them around the table. You've got Ronnie Cox, for crying out loud, knocking it out of the park, and they're all just on top form there. Richard Dean Anderson is smashing it again in that episode. You know,
I mean, well, let me put this out there. First of all, 2 things. First, if they'd used a Hathor clip, I would have given it a 6, not a 5. But part of me thinks that surely there are better arguments and responses they came up with, but I understand everything is working backwards from the end of the episode where he votes to shut them down. So they can't come up with an argument, which I'm sure is out there, which would kind of knock him back and say, no, you're right. Because obviously they can't use that because they have to have the episode end like it does. So I think in that way, they were kind of constrained from coming up with, probable great arguments for sustaining the Stargate program just for story purposes.
I've actually, you've given me an idea, actually, Gary, bringing up Hathor again. I've come up with an idea for Brian to design a mixed tees t-shirt with you, with pouch marks all over your body, and it just says, "I'm having Hathor's babies."
I'm not wearing that.
Someone asked what episode it was in the chat that I was talking about, and I'm trying to look it up because I don't remember the actual.
There's a few though, isn't there? That's the trouble.
Yeah. But the one that was nominated for Emmy, I believe it was called "Message in a Bottle." I think that's the one.
That was a Voyager episode.
Yeah, no, you're talking about the spoilers, the golfing one. Brian,
that's Window of Opportunity.
Window of Opportunity. Okay.
Now, Message in a Bottle was another episode, and I think that's the one that was nominated for an Emmy. I think that's a bottle episode. I don't remember. I know it says bottle.
There you go, Christopher Mays. I want to see that episode.
Yeah, that's your T-shirt, Brian, right there.
Yeah, Window of Opportunity, Chris, is the greatest episode of SG-1. I agree.
Yeah,
it's one of the best.
Also, I just realized what would have been a better last shot of this episode. They could just zoom in on Daniel as the camera kind of like pulls back from him, and he just stands there and goes, "Share," as the camera kind of goes back. That would have been a good last scene for this.
Yeah, guys, it was Message in a Bottle. It's season 2, I believe. Season 2, episode 7 is a bottle episode, or it's considered a bottle episode. And and it was nominated for an Emmy. Yeah,
I know the one you're on about now. Yeah,
I can tell you the description, but I think it might be a spoiler. So
it's if I'm right, it's very similar to that season 2 Star Trek: The Next Generation bottle episode.
Shades
in
of
the
gray.
way, the style.
Similar.
Yeah.
Other episodes that were considered bottle episodes that were rated very high was The Gamekeeper in 2001. But that was actually nominated for an Emmy, and it's considered a bottle episode. And I don't remember exactly what happens in it, though.
I find it disturbing that we have spent
it's coming up, Juliet,
so much time talking about a clip show as opposed to the actual episode with content.
Yeah. So, guys, are we ready for the season 1 finale?
Yes.
We are.
SG-1.
As long as it's not another clip show.
Oh, it's not a clip show, that's for sure.
Oh, it's not. You're going to be fine, mate.
Here we go, guys. This is
when you're
season
ready,
1.
Mate, give me
episode
a countdown.
21, Within the Serpent's Grasp. Once again, if you are watching on DVD, it's probably episode 22, but it's the last episode of season 1. So whether you're on Discord right now by clicking that little link in the pinned comment, or you are watching on Amazon Prime, MGM, or maybe you downloaded all the episodes on the Pirate Bay or whatever. Yeah. Season 1, episode 21, Within the Serpent's Grasp. Take a look at the time code on screen. We're going to start it in 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off.
Thank goodness no clips.
Yeah. Shredders. Would the general actually be doing that all himself, though? Or would one of his aides be doing...
I mean, if it's his stuff, right?
But anyone with clearance, that's a lot of work for a general.
Riggs! Should have said he was 10 days from retirement. That would have been better.
Too old for this.
What can you do, Jack? Come on.
Yeah. It must be horrible being an officer, knowing what's coming, and yet you can't do anything about it. Kind of.
They'll have to find us first.
And they can't find you if they can't turn the gate back on.
Yeah.
I got your court martial. Try and find me.
He'll be dead.
Dead.
Yeah.
A dead idiot.
Lord Forfeit is a cracker, isn't it? To be fair, they need all of them. We need Carter for a tech knowledge to get it all working. Yeah, I do love the night gear.
Good luck breaking through the door.
Yeah.
Dude, the soundtrack is so good.
Yeah. It's already like heroic, high stakes stuff, isn't it?
Oh, come on, General. Like they wouldn't have thought of everything.
General's got his tie on. It's serious. So good. I love the general here. He's actually quite proud of them for doing what they're doing.
Yeah. And I love the black hats.
Yeah, it's great. So what was O'Neill before this, do you reckon? Was he just high-end military special forces, or was he like CIA, or was he Delta Force, or
he was in the Air Force?
Yeah, so he was doing the high-end sort of covert missions then.
I'm assuming,
the Air Force. Because I don't understand your different change, because you got SEALs, haven't you? Navy SEALs, you've got Delta Force, you've got Air Force.
He worked for the Phoenix Foundation.
Well, Delta Force is part of a branch. And the Air Force is
they
a
combine
branch.
all of them.
Yeah, well, yeah. So the Air Force is a branch, Army's a branch, Navy's a branch, military's a branch. Delta Force is part of one of those branches. Special Forces, Green Berets, those are part of those branches.
Yeah, got ya.
He was special ops, spec ops. Someone said in the chat.
Yeah, thanks, Lord Foff.
I get why they have to do the credits that way, but sometimes I wish that they shouldn't reveal surprise appearances in the opening credits, and they should do it after.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's as old as TV itself, isn't it? That
Yeah,
one.
but it spoils things.
Well, if you remember in the 80s, you'd watch like the A-Team or shows like that. They used to show you what was going to happen in the episode before the
Tonight
episode
on the
started.
A-Team.
Right.
Yeah.
Tonight on the Epiteam, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I won't watch it now then.
Here are some scenes from our next episode.
Oh, there's the Zats.
The arrival of the Zats.
Sweet. Pass him out.
Yeah, he's just like a kid with a toy, isn't he? Just
We're going to call it a Zad gun.
Yeah. Lord Foth, yeah, there's some flashback stuff later on, isn't there, where you see a lot more of that. As we were saying though, on a one of our previous watch-alongs, Brian, you know, with the Zats, there are issues with the Zats about, you know, if you forget that you've already zapped them once.
Yeah, does the energy
hitting
have to
them
wear
again.
off?
Yeah.
How
You're
many
killing
times
them.
before it kills them?
Can we use the Zat gun
Yeah.
on the senator?
Yeah. A lot of people are probably saying that, Gary.
Uh-oh. We've seen this problem before, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Gary, why can't they dial home?
Because they don't know the starting point.
No, he knows. They were able to get there.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he can't dial home. And we've seen that exactly why they couldn't do it before.
Yep. And again, it's another great element to the writing team.
Right.
That they set it up at the beginning. They're now actually bringing it back at the finale as well.
Yeah, because my criticism, had they not set that up, was, wait, how are we supposed to know that?
Yeah. Now this is the only time we see this, I think. Maybe one more time. Again, it's well lit. I really like how they light these.
Yeah, me too.
The ships just look, you know, allegedly amazing, and the.
I wonder why they needed the money. They created a whole ship.
Yeah. Yeah, Christopher Mays, you're right. I think the only time we see it, there might be a couple of others, but I think it's like Hathor's First Prime has one. That's about it, I think. Stays Ace. No, we won't be that cruel.
Very funny. That was where this was airing, I think. I'm pretty sure it was on Showtime. Yeah.
Yeah, they reiterate it, but they set it up ahead of time, Vic.
Yeah.
Like, remember that episode? Like, the entire episode was basically about why they couldn't.
Yeah. It's like one of those body balls you get at the gym that's in the middle of the gate there.
Huh.
Balancing.
Super heavy things. They look like they're like real light. You go to pick them up and you feel like a weakling.
Yeah.
Next to the gigantic dude next to you that was just dribbling it like a basketball.
Yeah, the meathead laughs at you because you can't pick up the luminous pink one.
and he has one in each hand. He's spinning it on his hand like it's a basketball.
Yeah.
His fingers are muscular.
Yeah. And you've just literally come up the stairs and you're just out of breath and you're sweating.
Yeah.
Or is that just me?
The walk from your car and wore you out. Yeah, Sci-Fi saved the show, but then they also sort of did it in when they wouldn't give Joe Flanagan the rights to produce Atlantis.
Yeah.
That was super short-sighted.
I was so hacked off about that. I remember asking David Nichol what was going to go on with, the movie for Atlantis that was rumored.
They had the money,
and he was
everything.
saying we're waiting to know. He said, "Yeah." He said, "We're waiting to know."
They had the investors. Everything was lined up, and Showtime wouldn't sell the distribution rights. They wouldn't even rent them.
So annoying. Did anyone in the chat ever read the novels for Stargate SG-1? I never read them.
I did.
Do you remember? Yeah. Any good?
Yeah, they're okay. Atlantis ones are better than SG ones.
Well, there's like 10 billion and one fan novels. I know you're talking about the official published ones, but
yeah,
I was staggered when I found out how many fan novels there are.
Hyperspace.
Yeah, Stays Ace. Yeah, I always watched them on Sky One here in the UK. Hey, Garbage. Good to see you, mate. I hope you're well.
This guy's a badass too.
Yeah. They probably are, but they're probably on a lot of websites, Christopher Mays.
Yep.
I'm not reading those ones.
Yeah. I'm not reading the Tumblr websites. There's a lot of people that hate the fact that they shipped O'Neill and Carter. I remember my first documentary, I had like tweets. People were yelling at me because I had a scene in there where they got married in like an alternate reality.
It never bothered me.
No.
Again.
Oh,
thank you. Good job.
She just killed him.
Yeah.
Well,
hit him a third time. Hit him a third time.
You might as well do it right.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's the third time.
It is. You've also got to establish the proximity because, like I say, you could inadvertently hit another person with the Zat as well because of what its range is. It's nuts.
He should say third shot removes the inconvenient body.
Yeah.
They should have never have done the disintegration third shot thing. I think that was a plot device. I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I was right.
Yeah, you were, mate.
Oh, yeah, you were. Yeah.
Yeah.
He says shocked.
He's a smart cookie, this Gary, isn't he? You know.
Question, Tilk. How do you blow one of these up? That's my question.
Yeah.
Give the royal sarcophagus like 3 shots just for good measure.
C4 everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Spoilers, but there's a funny bit later in the series where O'Neill was trying to loan a ship. Someone wants to loan a ship off of him. And he's like, don't scratch the paint.
Don't scratch the paint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spoilers, Harry.
And again, this is a different ship to the ship you see in the movie.
It is
completely different style. Really?
Don't know about that.
Yeah.
This episode has like 48 minutes, so we don't have a year.
Yeah. Calculations might be off.
I mean, he did say it was new technology.
Yeah. Again, what you got, it's established later on. You got Goa'uld scientists, working on developing and enhancing technology. There's always a bikini for a lady if they're worshipping a Goa'uld, isn't there?
What's your point?
The pouches, look. Christopher Mace, not this one.
This guy sucks.
Hey man, what you in a big ball for?
I mean, at least it's not like a Panasonic TV. I like how they tried to do something new,
Yeah. Imagine what it'd be like if it was vertical now, Brian. You'd be throwing stuff at the screen. Losing it.
Of course, the Goa'uld use vertical TVs.
Like Apophis is TikToking. That's put a crimp on an otherwise fine plan, isn't it?
Again, would have been a great moment if they hadn't ruined it in the credits.
Yeah.
Went wrong.
Look at that. That's cool.
That's stupid.
No, you are.
There it
I
is.
love C4. Yeah.
At least Daniel
Can't-
didn't say, well, but if we can get through to him, maybe there's hope for Shara.
Yeah. But
Thanks for not
Christopher
saying
Mays
that.
is right here because we've established later on in seasons, Carter gets very emotional about decisions she makes later on. So cool. With that range, though, you'd think it'd hit everything. The Zap,
Right.
every button. Oh, I've hit the self-destruct. Oh, okay.
The button below it orders the pizza.
Yeah. The Domino's guy comes through the gate.
Hey, 30 minutes or it's free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
30
I ordered
light
chicken-
years, 30 light years or it's free.
I ordered chicken strippers as well. Yeah, Christopher Mace. He is. Yeah, it's great. I love this design.
It's time for some C4.
Yeah. Lord Forth cracker, isn't it?
Whoa. He just cursed.
Angry Jack. Jack does what he needs to do here. Has anyone met him, Scara, at the convention circuit? I've never seen him at the UK in the UK.
Never.
Oh, crap. Just so good. I really build up the stakes in this.
Yeah, I agree.
Ow. They come back and they're like throwing it back and forth to each other. Not for long, kiddo.
This creepy guy.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, Tilk.
Have you thought about Scientology?
I had to mute the mic because you said that. I started laughing as I was drinking something. Have you heard about Xenu and the great mysteries of the beyond?
Let's talk. I see the battle within's raging then.
Xena be praised.
You can't really argue that one, Daniel. You know, you need a last resort there.
Right. Carter looks hot and everything.
Yeah. Is it me or the black outfits though? They're more bulkier than the usual
Yeah, it seems that
SGC
way.
outfits. They're like padded. Oh crap.
Hope they come out of warp right over Senator McKinsey's house.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
it's like Independence Day. The beam comes down on Kinsey's living room.
Exactly. Question, Hammond. What the hell else can they be?
Yeah.
Any identification? I don't know. What
Dominoes.
else?
It's not. They're not two Teslas coming towards Earth.
Yeah.
Right, bro.
It's Dominoes.
It's Domino's. 30 minutes or less.
Yeah. On bicycles.
Well, the president's already proved himself to be impotent. Just go ahead and call the senator.
Yeah. Is that grounds for impeachment of the president at this point?
I mean, it's different though in times of war, right? President is commander in chief. He doesn't have to get the senator's approval.
Just cut back a few SG teams for now and just run with this team and a couple of others, you know. So that would get your costs down for now while you prepare what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to kick off.
Gary's about to get blue balls.
The general should have said, "Oh yes," and go arrest the senator.
Yeah, just special forces.
Yeah,
take him out
with extreme prejudice.
Just leave one of those classified folders on his chest.
That's right. There you go. And Samuel's as well while you're at it.
Yeah. Cut off his bro cream.
Look at Daniel with the two-handed pistols.
Yeah. Gone John Wick. Yeah.
Pew pew.
Yeah, Carter's been great throughout the rest of the episodes, Christy. Great character. Amanda Tapping, superb.
Come on, Jack.
I gotta say, those hand things take a long time to kill people.
Oh, they do. And also it later establishes what you want it to do as well. You know, it takes so long. It literally waits for your brain to dribble out your nose.
Right.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, it is. It also shows how big this thing is. Look at that.
Yeah.
And there's two of them.
Yep. Now, how about that for ending an episode and a season finale?
That is finale. The last episode. It is a two-parter, which means Within the Grass Part 2 actually takes place in Season 2, Part 1. And that is next week, my friends, where we go back to, I think, single episodes, right?
Yep. We're going to go back to Season 2. We'll do a double episode. There will be occasions where it could be a special occasion where we might go free, where none of us are working.
Right.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do this time, because we've just finished Season 1, we're going to do this episode. We're going to do a score out of 10, everybody. And we're also going to give a season ranking out of 10. So start it off, Gary. What would you rate both the season and the episode?
I love it, everybody, how he doesn't tell me what I'm going to be asked to rate, and then gives me about 10 seconds to think about it.
Yeah. Pressure, mate. Pressure.
It was a great season finale. I'll give the season finale a 9. It was a strong season finale. Get you hooked in for season 2. I knew that they would. What happened to Scar didn't surprise me, because I figured they have to, that and whatever eventually happens to Shara. I mean, they got to resolve that at some point. So I knew that probably something like this was coming. For the season, wow. Again, you guys are rating this season comparing it to all the other seasons. So all I can do is just rate the season by itself. It was, I mean, the first like half of the season, you know, I think while they were establishing the format, inevitably fell into the kind of Planet of the Week, um, you know, trope while they were establishing the characters and the writers were finding their way of, you know, what works and everything. Even with that, there were, I mean, the development of the characters was great. You know, clearly the showrunners have a plan for where they're going, laying out all the mythology. So, I mean, I'd be comfortable in giving this first season an 8. I don't think it would. I don't think there's anything that would make it fall into my kind of second tier of rating. I mean, it was a better first season overall than, you know, like Next Gen, absolutely for sure.
100%.
You know, even Voyager. You know, but clearly they know where they're going. You know, and the ensemble is great. So yeah, no, I'll give it an 8.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Brian?
Yeah, easily an 8.
Yeah.
Same. And it's pretty much the same reason why, you know. It's a much better episode than a lot of other sci-fi season 1s. Sorry, much better episode than other episodes. But also, as far as the series season goes, it's a better season 1 than a lot of other sci-fi season 1s.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you said Next Generation season 1, I still to this day dislike. That show, the only reason we kept watching it was because it was Star Trek, and finally it grew into its own.
Yeah.
And you can say that about a lot of series. There's not a lot of shows that capture you from season 1. And Stargate did that. You know, also like Firefly did that, Dark Matter did that. But a lot of series, it takes time for them to find their feet and sort of explain the universe. They explain the whole universe and they get you hooked on season 1 of this series. And that's the reason it's my favorite show of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I can't argue with you guys. I mean, season 1, I give it an 8. I just think, you know, from knowing this show and what Brian's just said, how much I mirror, I adore this show, but how much I know to come, as you said, Gary. I've seen stuff in season 1 again and again of what I know is to come, and it just does a great job of setting things up for future seasons. So I give it an 8 for the season, and I'll give it a 9 for the season finale, because I just think that it's such a good finale to the season, and we haven't even got to the second part in season 2 yet.
Oh yeah, imagine watching this, dude. Like,
yeah,
and knowing you're gonna have to wait almost a year for part 2. Oh my god,
I know.
See, actually, Christy's comments in the chat, Christy, I'm right there. One of the reason I didn't watch this back in the day is because I didn't have cable, I didn't have Showtime. So and then by the time they let 3 or 4 seasons go by before they started syndicating it, I think on the weekends, I was already kind of off doing other stuff, and I already felt that I was so far behind that there just wasn't a point. And so, you know, I get it, but now, you know, I get to watch it this way and kind of experience it for the first time. But
that's good. I mean, it's similar in the UK, because, you know, Sky used to literally, they used to purchase all of the top US series, sci-fi shows. They had X-Files, they had Stargate, they had the Star Treks, and if you didn't have Sky, you didn't see it, because this wasn't until later on they started putting it on BBC Two, I think it was, in the UK. And you know, it's just a top draw series. It really is. I mean, Christy's put in the chat as well. She said, I can't rate each season. I'm so biased because I love the show so much and still watch it so often. Yeah, I get that, because I look back at it as a Stargate fan, and there's not one season of Stargate for me that is actually, I think, oh no, that's terrible. You know,
right.
All of them are just bangers for me. They really are. There's always something in those seasons that I'm like, I can't wait. And it makes me push on to want to get to the next season because they're so good.
Right.
I would say we've got some scores in here. So I mean, for the episodes, I'm assuming. So Juliet's giving it a 9 out of 10. Just to answer your question, Juliet, yeah, we are going to be back next week, all being well, to do season 2 with a 2-episode review. We'll keep you posted and updated on X and on the YouTube community as well, to see what's happening. We've got obviously Christy gives it a 9 for this episode. Coquelad, good to see you, gets a 9 out of 10. Lord Foff gives the season a 7, and an 8.5 for the actual episode itself. Julie Coonan, episode 8.5 and season 1 a 7. So we've literally got Lord Foff gives Next Generation season 1 a 5, by the way, guys. So we know.
There's about, and I'm not going through it all in my head. There's about 4 decent episodes in all of Next Gen season 1. That's about it.
And right, and a lot of those are only decent because they set up better episodes. 2 seasons later. It's not very good TV.
No, and again, I think overwhelmingly we've got responses from everybody that everyone is favourable to Stargate SG-1 season 1. There's clearly a lot of love for the show. As we've said, everybody, we are coming back to do season 2 and the seasons onwards. I'm speaking personally. I don't know what Brian and Gary think, but this is a labor of love for me because I just love this franchise so much. It's wonderful stuff.
Well, I have to keep doing this until John gives me back those photographs.
Yeah.
Gary's being blackmailed. So
yeah. To let you know as well, there will be. I'm currently developing them at the moment, but there are going to be some effectively 10 to 20 minute short videos that are going to be coming out that are going to be talking more about the lore of the Stargate franchise. So I've already talked to Brian about this. I haven't talked to Gary because I don't want Gary to see a lot of it yet.
No, I've already given John the pass that I'll be storing all of those and watching them later, and I get it. I'm fine with that. So
yeah,
you make the videos that you want to make for the people who are totally immersed in the lore, and my blessings to you on that.
Thanks, mate. And again, it'll be, everybody, it'll be 1 episode as an example that I'm currently developing and talking to Brian about is just talking about the Ashen. Then we're going to talk there'll be ones talking about technology in the Stargate universe, alien races, ships, lots of different things to discuss that you lot might find it interesting and we go into it. So keep an eye out for those. They will be in addition to our watch-alongs. And the only other thing I was going to say as well is, look, first of all, Gary, let everybody know where you can be found in addition to being on Sci-Fi Chronicles.
Don't tell them about your nighttime adventures, okay?
Yeah,
we know you can be found.
I can be found reporting into my parole officer.
Picture and hat full pouches. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Gary, and yes,
That's right. With all the Hathor pictures I'm on my ceiling. Yes. Eating wedding cake every night.
On a street
nobody's
corner.
there. Nobody shows up to eat it with me. So that's my life.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to see on the news or something about like what's going on in California at the moment. It will just pan a news camera, and it will just be Gary sat against the wall.
Oh no, this is
marriage cake.
This is like just the California is just like the Psychoville.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane out here.
Yeah,
but
it's a disaster.
You can find me on Type 40 on Thursdays on their big Thursday show every Thursday night UK time around noon my time, and then on Saturdays the Space Book, the Type 40 kind of companion channel, the Space Book. So you can find me
Yep.
there on Thursdays and Saturdays, talking about, well, now that you know what is done, we'll be back to talking about good stuff on Thursdays and Saturdays.
Wait, there are good stuff? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've passed through the the 8 hours of hell, we're back to talking about
yeah. And if anyone hasn't seen it, check out Type 40 and Spacebook, because they do put out some really good stuff. So make sure you have a look and subscribe and like to the channels. Brian, where can everyone find you, my friend?
The Popcast link is in my sub. We just came out with the Superman documentary for Christopher Reeve Superman, which is pretty awesome. We got another documentary coming out this coming Saturday, and then 2 weeks after that. So we are burning and turning these documentaries. Thankfully, they're already written. So they're written, and now it's Shane's voicing them, and we're editing them. It's a whole thing. But yeah, also every Saturday, a Salty Nerd, Brain Show, and DC Unleashed.
Yeah, and make sure you check out DC Unleashed for all your latest DC news, because Brian is literally on it the second something breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and John recorded something like on Saturday morning at like 5 a.m. or something.
We did.
I've got to say, I mean, I'm not sure, but I think I struck a nerve with TNG fans. I'm a big TNG fan, but like I said, season 1 and season 2, the fact that they were able to produce any decent episodes at all in those 2 seasons is a testament to them. And I will acknowledge there is a small handful of episodes in those 2 seasons which are good and that rank up with the rest of the series. But considering how strong the series became in season 3, I think casts an even worse light into the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I'll light some fire in the chat. The best, and I think some of the only good stuff in those first 2 seasons is Dr. Crusher and the Counselor Troy working out in their leotards.
That was not in the first 2 seasons.
That's probably where it ends.
In his mind, it was.
I don't. In your mind, that was. No,
I skipped
that was
directly to those episodes.
Okay, no, that was not. That was not the first.
I mean, I've talked about the next gen before, and again, huge praise goes to Michael Piller, because when he came in and he made it a character-based story.
Yes, exactly.
And that's when it really took off.
The term "grow the beard" is because of TNG. Because it wasn't good before Riker had the beard. It's okay to say it wasn't great. Bro, I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but that first season sucked.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into we should get into that at some point. That's because they were hamstrung by
I know
deliberately not being able to advance the story
because of Marvel,
Winter Soldier came out.
But it's one of my top 5 all-time series. But that first season was not great.
Was great.
Yeah, Crusher grew a beard.
I will say I'm on record of saying I actually prefer Dr. Pulaski to Crusher. Dr. Crusher.
Oh, see, now he's just lying.
I just thought because they were going back to like the Bones kind of style of Doctor.
Yeah, but it was just
Dr.
so.
Pulaski.
But see, that's why they didn't feel organic, because they were trying to rip off and transplant somebody's character types into something.
This is a whole discussion for another day, boys.
Yeah. We're going down a dark road.
You talk about Star Trek for hours.
Yeah. So I think stick with us. Obviously, we're going to continue with Stargate. I've got a few other ideas that I've got to talk to the guys about. So watch this space. But other than that,
I do have to say though, if you guys are going to tell me that they replaced the Doctor in Stargate in season 2, just like they replaced Crush with Pulaski, it was nice knowing you, everybody, and I wish you good luck with the stream.
Yeah, Dr. Frasier has a beard in season 2.
They do eventually replace the Doctor, but it's with a swimsuit model.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it is.
You know what's really funny? What I'm saying is not far from what actually happened.
I'm not an unreasonable man. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
The new Doctor is so hot. Daniel Jackson in real life, Michael Shank marries her.
All I'm going to say is All I'm going to say is, as a tease, Andromeda.
Yeah, Andromeda.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Kevin
So
Sorbo
thank
shows
you
up?
all. Yeah. But it's a pleasure, everyone. Have a good, safe week, and we'll
Happy
see you on the
Father's
next
Day,
one.
everybody.
Take care. Roy.
Yeah, happy
See
Father's
ya.
Day. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Take care. Oh, just ending stream now.